My business grew by over 500% last year thanks to LinkedIn. Let's take a look at Gary Vee's LinkedIn tips for 2025.
I'm just stunned how much of a content platform LinkedIn has become, because for a lot of us here, LinkedIn was a utility for recruiting and just reaching out to people. Using LinkedIn is not spamming people on LinkedIn messaging. Using LinkedIn is using LinkedIn the way you use Facebook or Twitter, putting out meaningful content. It finds itself to the right people in that world.
Yeah, on that, I fully agree with Gary Vee's opinion about LinkedIn. Like 7 years ago, I was a trainee lawyer, and LinkedIn was very, very serious to me. Like, I had my professional picture, I had my tie, I had everything. But the thing is, these days, like LinkedIn is so much different. It's more about like putting like value content to grow your audience and to make business out of it, whether you're a lawyer or not. Even if you're a startup, like they don't care. Like people get it these days when it comes to LinkedIn. And so people they treat LinkedIn like X or Instagram. They just put content, they want to make business on it, but because of the nature of LinkedIn, that is B2B, the conversions are so much better.
But for anyone here, actually, how many people here are posting every day on LinkedIn for their business? Raise your hand. 11. Good. It's good. I just really want, if I ever get lucky enough to come back here in 2 or 3 years, I just want 70, 80% of this room to raise their hand. I promise you, if you happen to be sitting next to someone who raised their hand and you don't know them, I highly recommend you ask them what's going on. And I have no idea if they're good at it or not, because it is a game of being good at it. But if they're good at it, they will explain and give you a story of a direct correlation of them hiring a good employee from a competitor because of one post.
Oh, I have that. I have that, guys. I can show you one post right now of when I hired someone and because of a LinkedIn post. So let me show you right now how it happened. It was crazy. So essentially, what happened is that a couple of weeks ago, I've made a funny LinkedIn post about someone insulting me. And as you can see, he pretty much say that I was a real cock, that my product, my software was fine, but I was a real cock. And essentially, I explained that the guy was a bit rude for no reason. And from that, I got a cold email from someone with an excellent cold email subject line, like probably the best cold email I received last year in 2024. And it was, I'm not going to call you a cock. And thanks to the post of the guy, I used this screenshot to make a LinkedIn post. I received this cold email and I was trying to get A players for a retention role in my startup, breakcold, and because of that, it generated this guy that was so exceptional. And after a couple of conversations, some interviews, I decided to go with this guy. While on the back end, I was already interviewing a couple of other people, but it attracted itself such a good employee, such a good talent, A player, that I picked that guy because of the LinkedIn post. And it's crazy to think that I attracted an A player with a LinkedIn post. And I have so many other stories from other founders hiring really good people, hungry people, super smart, joining the company because they were following them on LinkedIn initially, and then they use that to contact them in a smart way.
A story of getting a new client because of one post.
Yeah, it also happened, guys. Like just with some post on LinkedIn, I got a gigantic customer. Let me show you right now. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with ClickUp, but it's one of the fastest and biggest startup that you have in the world. And essentially, they're making about like $200 million in annual recurring revenue. And one of the co-founders of ClickUp subscribed to my product for an annual plan, and essentially we got a call together. It was so cool. It gave me tips and stuff. And the thing is, like throughout the call, I discovered that he heard about my product thanks to a podcast he made with another person, and I met this other person by doing LinkedIn posts, and then he saw me on LinkedIn. I've done the podcast, and essentially I got this customer as a result. So all of that thanks to LinkedIn, and in terms of social proof, having such a big customer was crazy, because then I made a post about it. I got insane reach, and it generated me even more signups and customers for my business. That was insane. The loop is pretty insane when you think about it.
A story of getting asked to be on a podcast because of one post that then led to business. The world is changing. We all
Yeah, the world is changing, and LinkedIn is very important in 2025, guys. So if you really care about this, check out my software, breakcold.com. It's going to help you a lot. It's a sales CRM for email and LinkedIn power users. It's just going to blow your mind. So make sure to check out the demo video at the end in the description.
personal content. And by the way, as I wrap up, not everybody has to do video. This whole notion, yes, video works. Video's a monster. We watch videos. It's what we do. But for the people in here saying, man, I want to do it, but I feel self-conscious on video. Two things on that. One, once and for all, can we put this to bed? Anyone here who's not posting because they're worried about judgment of others, strangers and friends, making fun of them, who do you think you are? Somebody leaves a comment saying you're ugly or stupid or wrong. I just really need you to hear this. Forevermore, please remember this. If somebody comes to your profile on social media and takes the time to try to take you down, you shouldn't feel bad for yourself. You should feel bad for them.
I mean, this is so fucking true. I think like most of us, like when we set up our LinkedIn profile, it's when we went to university, or when we got our bachelor degree, master's degree, when we had our first job, we created our LinkedIn profile. And so because of that, most of our connections are tied to our colleagues, to our friends when we were in school, in university. And so, in that regard, like when you want to start to use LinkedIn to grow your business or to reach your sales quota, if you're a sales rep, most of us are shy in the beginning because you need to share your face. In video, you need to post content and people will see your content. But the thing is, if you have this mindset, if you care about other people's opinion, you will fail. And you will fail like most other thing in life. And I think like if you have this mindset, in the beginning it's very hard to just post and not care. So my advice to you in that situation, if the business you're about to launch as no link to your past life, your past job life, your past uni life. And if you're not confident at all, you can just delete all your connections. I mean, LinkedIn is for B2B. It's not Facebook. It's not Instagram. It's not Snapchat. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have your friends on LinkedIn or your family on LinkedIn, because it's not made for that. Like it's made for business, for B2B. And in that regard, my conclusion would be that if you need like a tool that can help you to manage all of this, check out my software, breakcold.com. And that's it for the video. Bye.